Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise, really get into the fascinating world where artificial intelligence is actually meeting medicine. Our mission, really, for this deep dive is to show you where AI is making, well, a tangible impact, in the real world of healthcare.
Yeah.
We've pulled insights from a whole stack of sources, groundbreaking studies, industry innovations, some really cutting-edge research.
And it's not just about throwing data at you, right? It's about figuring out what it all means. Translating these kind of complex findings into something useful.
Useful for doctors, useful for patients.
Exactly. We want to pull out the most important bits of knowledge for you, give you a clear picture of what's happening now, and, explore not just what AI is doing, but really why it matters, why it's so profound for patient care and, well, the whole medical system.
Okay, so let's unpack this first big one. This one really caught my eye.
Yeah.
We're starting with a pretty groundbreaking study. It involves OpenAI's AI clinical Copilot and Penda Health.
Right, the Nairobi study.
Exactly. And this wasn't some, small lab test in ideal conditions. This was deployed across 15 clinics in Nairobi. Real world.
Huge scale.
Massive. Nearly 40,000 patient visits. They use this AI tool, AI Consult, which is powered by GPT-4o.
And the results were, well, genuinely significant. Across all those visits, what was it, 39,849?
Yeah.
They saw a 16% drop in diagnostic errors and a 13% reduction in treatment errors. That's substantial.
16%. Wow.
Yeah.
And 13 on treatment.
Yeah. And it wasn't just about errors. It actually helped improve the clinical documentation, too, and decision-making.
How so?
Well, history-taking errors fell by 32%, and investigation errors, like ordering the right tests, dropped by 10%.
Okay, so it's helping across the board there.
But here's something even more striking. When the system flagged a red alert, for a potentially critical case, the impact was even stronger.
Ah, interesting.
Diagnostic errors in those critical cases dropped by 31%, and treatment errors by 18%. So it really helped most when the stakes were highest.
That makes sense. It's like having an extra safety net right when you need it.
Precisely. And it seemed to get the clinicians more engaged, too. There's this metric, the left in red rate.
Meaning alerts that weren't addressed.
Yeah, exactly. Critical alerts the clinicians didn't act on, that rate fell from around 40% down to 20%. Cut in half.
That's a big shift in engagement.
Yeah.
But here's the bit I found really, really reassuring, and honestly, maybe a game changer for building trust in these systems.
Go on.
Across, what was it, over 5,600 reviewed visits?
5,666, yeah.
Not a single instance of harm came from an AI suggestion. Zero.
That's crucial. Absolutely crucial.
And the clinicians, they described it not as like some AI overlord, but more like a trusted second opinion. A learning tool, even.
Yeah, and that fits with what the study authors concluded. They basically said the main hurdle now isn't really the AI model itself anymore. GPT-4o proved it could do the job, technically.
Right. The tech works.
The tech works. The big challenge now is real-world integration, implementation. How do you actually weave this into the day-to-day workflow of a busy clinic?
How do you train people? How do you build that trust we just talked about?
Exactly. It's all about that practical side. So this study, it really offers a kind of concrete blueprint, shows how AI can go from just, hype and headlines to making a real impact.
Especially maybe in places without huge resources.
Absolutely. Improving safety, helping decisions, boosting care quality. At scale, it shows you can enhance the human element, not replace it, if you integrate it thoughtfully.
Those are definitely compelling results from Penda. Really strong. But is this just like one lucky shot, or are we seeing this kind of thing more broadly?
Good question. Is it an outlier?
Yeah. What about the wider industry? Is there momentum building elsewhere beyond just this specific study?
Oh, definitely. This is absolutely part of a much bigger wave. We're seeing significant developments across the whole health ecosystem.
Like what?
Well, Google, for instance. They've released new multimodal models, part of their Magema collection.
Okay, Magema, what does that mean, practically?
Think of them as, like, open source toolkits for building health AI. They're designed specifically for medical text, medical images, really advanced stuff.
So developers can build on them?
Right. Customizable, but also designed with privacy in mind, which is obviously huge in healthcare. And they also released something called
MedSiglip.
Yeah, it's for medical image classification and retrieval. Basically, it can automatically sort and label huge amounts of medical images.
Like X-rays or scans.
Exactly. Differentiating types of scans, maybe spotting features. And it can also quickly find images similar to one you give it. Super useful for training other AIs or even helping a doctor compare a tricky case to past examples.
Okay, so Google's pushing on the development tools front. What about the big hospital systems? Are they jumping in?
We're seeing major strategic moves there, too. Look at Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, big name.
They're deploying NVIDIA's latest tech, the Blackwell infrastructure. Think of Blackwell as like a superpowered engine built specifically for creating and running these huge generative AI models really, really fast.
So they're investing heavily in the hardware.
Massively. Their goal is to speed up development and use of AI for things like digital pathology, precision medicine.
Aiming for faster innovation, better accuracy.
Exactly. Better patient outcomes. And you can't forget GE HealthCare either.
Ah, the medical device giant.
Yeah, they've consistently been at the top of the FDA list for AI-enabled medical devices 4 years running now.
Wow. How many devices?
100 total authorizations. They're really leading the charge, especially in imaging and diagnostic. So, yeah, the momentum is definitely industry-wide.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not just isolated pockets.
Yeah.
Now, I want to shift focus a bit to a really specific and I think compelling industry example, Cloudphysician.
Ah, yes, the Smart-ICU concept.
Exactly. Their whole mission seems kind of radical, right? Turning standard ICUs into these like intelligent, constantly monitored environments using remote expert teams.
It is transformative, and the real-world results they're getting are pretty stunning.
Tell us about it.
So the company operates these remote intensivist teams, critical care specialists based in Bengaluru, and they provide oversight to partner hospitals all across India.
How widespread is this?
It's big. They're active in over 280 hospitals now across 23 states, managing more than 2,000 ICU beds remotely.
Wow. 2,000 beds.
And they've supported over 130,000 critical care patients so far.
Incredible reach. What's the impact been on like patient outcomes?
This is the headline number. Their Smart ICU model has seen up to a 40% reduction in ICU mortality rates.
40%? That's huge.
It translates roughly to saving about 1 extra life for every 10 patients they manage.
Just staggering. And what about the hospitals themselves operationally?
ICU capacity use has gone up by as much as 50%. So hospitals can handle more complex cases, keep the ICU running effectively 24/7, even if they don't have intensivists physically there all the time.
Okay, so how does it actually work? What's the tech behind this?
It's clever. The core is their radar platform. It uses a mix of computer vision, so analyzing video feeds, and OCR, optical character recognition, pulling data from monitors. They use Google Cloud Vision API for some of this.
And there's an AI copilot.
Yeah, called AINA. It's an AI video copilot that's constantly watching the video feeds from the ICU beds.
What's it looking for?
All sorts of things. Patient vital signs, obviously, but also patient movement, fall risks, signs of respiratory distress, delirium, even checking if the bed rails are left down.
And it alerts the team.
Proactively, yes, it flags potential issues. And it all integrates with Google Meet and Chat, so the remote team and the bedside team can coordinate in real time.
So this isn't just about, cool tech. It's fundamentally changing how critical care expertise gets delivered. For you, our listener, thinking about this Cloudphysician model, what's the big takeaway here? What does it mean for patients?
I think the most profound thing is how it democratizes expertise. It shows that really high-level, specialized critical care doesn't have to be confined to major urban centers or big teaching hospitals.
Right. Geography becomes less of a barrier.
Exactly. Or staff shortages. It means specialized care can reach more people, potentially saving lives in places it couldn't before. It points towards a future where healthcare delivery could be much more equitable, much more efficient, bringing the expertise to the patient wherever they are.
That's a really powerful idea, bringing world-class expertise anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen AI helping in clinics, helping in ICUs. Let's shift again. What about the sort of cutting edge of research? How is AI refining very specific medical practices or even changing how we train doctors?
Yeah, there's some really fascinating stuff happening in research labs and studies right now. One area is personalized medicine, specifically with antibiotics.
Okay, combating antibiotic resistance is huge. How does AI help?
So one study developed a machine learning model using decision trees, actually to predict how well a specific antibiotic, piperacillin tazobactam, or PIPT,
Okay, PIP.
how well it would work for patients with lower respiratory tract infections. LRTIs.
And how accurate was it?
Pretty good, around 73% accuracy in predicting treatment response. But what's more interesting is why.
Right, what did it learn?
It identified the key factors predicting treatment failure. Things like low serum albumin levels in the patient, a high NLR count, that's a marker of inflammation,
Okay.
having COPD or heart failure. It also found that just not giving a high enough dose of the PIPT was a major factor in it not working effectively.
So it helps pinpoint risks. But you said why it works is interesting.
Yeah, because they use something called SHAP analysis.
SHAP, what's that?
It's basically a technique to make the AI's decision-making interpretable, transparent. It lets you see how much each individual factor, like that low albumin or the COPD, contributed to the AI's final prediction for that specific patient.
Ah, so it's not just a black box saying use this drug or don't use this drug.
Exactly. It helps the doctor understand the reasoning. This supports truly personalized antibiotic use, moving away from just giving everyone broad-spectrum antibiotics, which we know drives resistance.
That explainability, that transparency must be key for doctors to actually trust and use these tools, right?
Absolutely crucial. It answers that question. How do we make these complex AI decisions understandable, trustworthy for clinicians?
Makes sense. And you also mentioned AI impacting training, medical education.
Yeah, another interesting area. There was a study using a large language model like the tech behind ChatGPT to create a digital patient.
A simulated patient.
Essentially, yes. And they found it significantly improved medical students' skills in taking ophthalmology histories, asking the right questions about eye conditions, and it even improved their empathy scores.
Empathy. How did it measure that?
That's a good question. The specifics of measurement would be in the study details, but the outcome suggests interacting with the AI patient helped them practice communication in a way that was perceived as more empathetic. And the potential here is huge. A scalable, low-cost way to practice clinical skills compared to using standardized patients, which are expensive and logistically difficult.
So better training, more accessible training.
Potentially, yeah. And just one more quick example on the training support side. ChatGPT itself was evaluated in emergency medicine scenarios.
How is it?
It actually performed pretty well, matching emergency physicians on structured kind of textbook cases, things like STEMI heart attacks or diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA.
Okay, for the standard stuff.
Right. But it struggled with more complex, nuanced, messy, real-world scenarios, which, again, reinforces the idea these tools are powerful support, augmentation.
Not replacements.
Definitely not replacements for critical thinking and human judgment, especially when things get complicated. It seems like the AI is really good at that initial heavy lifting pattern recognition, recalling facts, structuring information.
Freeing up the human clinician to focus on the subtleties,
Oh,
the patient interaction, the tricky bits.
that seems like a fair way to frame it.
Yeah.
Augmenting, not replacing.
That really does seem to be the common thread running through all these examples, doesn't it? AI as a tool to enhance what humans do, enhancing precision, capabilities, training, but not taking over the core human expertise. So we've covered a lot of ground today, quite a landscape.
We have.
From, really impressive large-scale results, reducing diagnostic errors in clinics in Nairobi,
Yeah, the Penda study.
to transforming how critical care is delivered with remote monitoring, actually saving lives.
Physician, yeah.
And then getting into the nitty-gritty of personalizing antibiotic treatments, even refining how we train doctors. It feels like AI is really finally moving out of the lab and the headlines into, well, practical, impactful use across medicine.
It certainly feels that way. The momentum is undeniable. But you know what's truly fascinating, maybe the biggest potential here, isn't just about the tech itself.
What do you mean?
Well, there's this quote from Eric Topol. He's a prominent physician and author in this space.
I know his work, yeah.
He said something like, the greatest opportunity offered by AI is not reducing errors or workloads or even curing cancer, which sounds counterintuitive, right?
What's bigger than curing cancer?
He says, it is the opportunity to restore the precious and time-honored connection and trust the human touch between patients and doctors.
Restore the human touch. How would AI do that? By freeing up doctors' time.
That's the idea. By handling the data crunching, the admin, the pattern spotting, maybe it gives clinicians more time, more mental space to actually connect with the patient, to listen, to build that trust.
That's a really powerful thought to end on. How all this amazing technology, paradoxically, could actually help make healthcare more human again. Safer, yes. More efficient, yes. But also, maybe enhancing that core human connection.
It's something to think about.
Definitely something for you to think about. We hope you'll keep exploring this incredible, fast-evolving landscape with us. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.